Welcome to SVG-TV News for Wednesday, June 26, 2019. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. This year's batch of graduates from the SVG Community College have been encouraged to let their light shine and not to allow the opinions of others to define who they are and who they will become. The advice came from valedictorian Iana Ferguson at the college graduation ceremony held yesterday at the Victoria Park. Close to 800 students from the 3 divisions of the community college received their certificates, with many now looking forward to the next step in their academic lives. Ferguson told the gathering that their graduation is one milestone which was achieved through perseverance, hard work, and the support of loved ones. She said though some persons seem to have already charted their next step, others have no idea what the next step is. She, however, advised her colleagues not to compare themselves with others or set limits on what they can achieve.
Comparing yourself to others. Each person is unique and would have different paths and paces that they would take in their life's journey. Many persons find time to put their cars in reverse and forget to switch to drive. Do not do this or you would crash. While it is good to learn from your past, do not make it a gravestone for your future. Do not let what others say keep you down. As stated in Winnie the Pooh, quote, "You are braver than you believe, you are stronger than you seem, and you are smarter than you think," end of quote. I believe that you are much more capable than you know. Do not limit yourself, for limits, just like theirs, are all just illusions. You have the power to be, create, do, and have your desires. Remember, in future decision making, we must be principled and honest, as these decisions have impacts on the lives of others.
Sharing a quote from her favorite poem, Ferguson further encouraged her colleagues to be a beacon of hope to others.
I want to leave you with one of my favorite poems. It is called Our Deepest Fear by Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as you let your own light shine, you unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As you are liberated from your own fear, your presence automatically liberates others.
Another batch of persons who have successfully completed training under the Adult and Continuing Education Program at the Glen Learning Resource Center graduated today at a ceremony held at the Calico Town Hall. The graduates represented just over half the number of students who enrolled for the programs offered at the center at the beginning of the year. 10 students received special awards at today's ceremony. Larissa Pugsley-Kidd tells us more in this report.
9 students from 9 zones in the Adult and Continuing Education Program at the Glen Learning Resource Center today received their certificate of completion at a ceremony held at the Calico Town Hall. Coordinator of the Glen Learning Resource Center, Adrian Samuel, said it was a challenging year, noting that 90 persons enrolled at the commencement of the program. However, only 49 made it to the end. Varying reasons were given for the dropout of the participants.
Some of these are working with limited resources, learners dropping out because of financial issues. Some learners actually got jobs, others because of parental duties.
This year, the youngest participant was 17 and the oldest 65. They were both congratulated for successfully completing their respective programs. Director of the Adult and Continuing Education, Kathleen Jeffers, stressed the importance of technical and vocational programs to national development, noting the emphasis being placed by the government on such programs.
We also need to acknowledge the contribution made by the government as they seek to further the development in the technical and vocational educational sector. They have recognized the importance and have seen the potential that this sector has in achieving its vision and meeting the national goals.
Jeffers challenged the participants to put to good use their skills acquired. Guest speaker at today's graduation was Pastor Elroy Martin, who spoke to the participants on second chances which they were afforded.
Second chances also come because in some cases we were not quite prepared to take on the new challenge or the challenges because certain things were missing. In some cases, we were battling with some situations that unforeseen circumstances.
Special awards were given out to participants who excelled in mathematics, English language, garment construction, food preparation, computer repairs, carpentry, small engine, and tie-dye. Punctuality and most improved students were also recognized. Some of the participants shared their experiences in the program at today's graduation ceremony.
I've reached a point where I felt like giving up because I've lost all hope due to circumstances. But when I've sat and realized that I went to secondary school, I never repeated a form. I've set 7 subjects and obtained only 5. I want to study to be a chef and I don't have English. I realized that this is only a stepping stone for me to accomplish my goals. And the determination I've set, I must make it.
You know, motivated by being in a class with young people. So they gave me a drive to do more, to do better. Because I find if I don't do better, well, I really I am not showing them, you know, that they must work on hard to achieve something.
Reporting for SVG-TV News, Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
Condom use and HIV testing are key components in the fight against HIV and AIDS and other sexually transmitted diseases. And members of the HIV/AIDS unit are continuing with their sensitization drive on safe sex, which include proper condom use. Earlier today, the HIV/AIDS unit hosted a mini exhibition at Massey Stores at Arnottsville to distribute condoms to members of the public as well as to share important information on HIV/AIDS and other sexually transmitted diseases. Speaking with our news team, AIDS coordinator for public sector entities in the HIV/AIDS unit, Winfield Tanis Abbott, said though the unit advocates abstinence, they recognize that persons will choose to be sexually active, and as such, is it important to encourage safe sex.
Very important because sometimes you may put a condom on and yes, during sex you think the condom is properly, or during sex that condom can slide off and you may discharge at the same time. And the importance of using a condom is not just using the condom, but knowing, making sure that before you use the condom, make sure that look for the date to see that it is good to use, look for the expiry date, and also knowing how to properly put a condom on, because if you don't, anything can happen. One mistake you can become HIV positive. And we will keep promoting condom use because not everyone will have safe.
Tanis Abbott said the response from the public has been good thus far, with a few people still shying away from condom use. He used the opportunity to share some advice with the young men and women of SVG.
What I found strange is that a few of the young men saying that they're safe and they don't need a condom. So when we offer them a condom, they said no, no, no. But I want to advise all young men that once you're sexually active, one mistake, you can become not only HIV positive, but you can have other sexual transmissible diseases. And we're doing everything to protect the lives of our young people. Also, we have here the female condom, and we're promoting it as well. And we have here how it is, what it looks like when it is in. And we really want to make sure that the females as well protect themselves, not only with a female condom, but with also a male condom, because a man can tell you the condom is good, but a woman must make sure. And I always say to women, always have one in your purse, no matter what you're carrying, have one, because and when you have one, you put it on, so you're sure and certain that you put on a good condom, a condom that is not expired, and you're putting on a condom that was not punched, so that in the event you either become pregnant or you contract a sexual transmissible disease, and more so HIV.
Meanwhile, several persons with whom our news team spoke to about their impression of the campaign of the HIV/AIDS unit said it is important that more businesses should get on board.
HIV is going in the world, it's alarming, and we've come up to see how we can help people actually prevent this transmission, especially at this season. To help young men and old male and female understand that it is important they keep themselves safe. It is important they prevent the transmission of this disease.
Use the Carnival. In this Carnival, I want to encourage all young people to enjoy themselves, but you know, when you're drinking, you enjoy yourself, you just want a companion to enjoy yourself with. We are here now sharing our condoms to you all.
I think it's important for the supermarket to make the public aware of the importance of the use of condoms so that we can reduce the spread of the AIDS virus.
Alright, and you think more, not just supermarkets, but more businesses?
Yeah, more businesses need to come online so that, you know, it can make the public more aware of the importance to protect yourself.
Tomorrow is National HIV Testing Day, and members of the HIV/AIDS unit will be conducting testing at the Winwood Car Park in Kingston from 10 in the morning. The unit will also visit the Kingston Massey Store branch on Friday to continue with its condom distribution campaign. Music is a key element of the Vincentian culture, and one health professional is questioning its influence on a person's consumption pattern of alcohol. In a recent interview with SVG-TV News, Managing Director of Health Solutions Inc., Perline De Freitas, said music should not promote any bad behavior or encourage destructive habits.
Liming with music, sometimes there is unacceptable forms of behavior at times. I think where people have to understand that it's music. It's not, it shouldn't impact how you drink or how you behave. That should not be, it's your entertainment. That's what it exactly is. So even with music, we're looking at, you know, drinking maybe, but movies do the same. Other forms of entertainment do the same. It doesn't mean that us as human beings, as adults, should be actually following the trend of what the music is telling you. You be mindful of yourself. You know your body more than anything else. Enjoy it. Music may tell you what to do, but doesn't mean that that's what you should be taking in. So that's why I always say music is music. And you know, it has gone on decades in the past where this has been one way or another, you know, the environment of it. No, I myself, I don't think that there should be an understanding that this is entertainment and it's not what it should be, that, you know, you should be drinking because the song is telling you that you should be drinking.
The overindulgence of alcohol often leads to hangovers, and the Health Solutions Director gives some advice to persons who may experience symptoms of such.
Generally, I mean, when people are having, they're out, they're drinking, liming, and let's say they start to, be sick, or I think removing yourself from the situation that you're in. Two, I think you have to look at your diet. High fatty foods is not suggested after you actually have a so-called hangover. Fluid replenishment. Obviously, you're starting to feel sick partly because of the fact that you've now dehydrated and overly dried out your body. So make sure you rehydrate yourself with water. Try and stay away from the sugary stuff. Stay away from the stuff that actually increases or gives you the so-called energy, because that will also play into effect with your heart rate as well and your heart. So all these things, I think, a dry diet, staying away from fatty foods, high salty foods as well. All these things, I think the next day, a lot of rest, and don't go repeating the same thing the next day as well, because the body at some point will tell you it's not happy with it.
SVG and 2 other countries in the region were rattled by a magnitude 3.8 earthquake on Tuesday. There were no reports of injury or damage. The Seismic Research Center of the St. Augustine campus of the University of the West Indies said that the quake occurred at 5:58 a.m. local time and was felt in SVG, Grenada, and St. Lucia. It was located latitude 12.67 north, longitude 16.44 west, and a depth of 110 kilometers. The center said the quake rattled areas 59 kilometers southwest of Kingston, St. Vincent, 77 kilometers northeast of St. George's, Grenada, and 159 kilometers southwest of Castries in St. Lucia. Welcome to Carnival Beat this evening, with just 2 days left before the official commencement of the 10 days of activities for Vincy Mas 2019. Members of the Carnival Development Corporation say they are ready to kickstart the events. The CDC and Ministry of Tourism today hosted the final news conference for the season, where they briefed members of the media on their readiness and what patrons can expect in the days ahead. Larissa Pogs the Kid tells us more in this report.
Fantastic Friday, June 28th is the first event which will kickstart the official 10 days of activities for Vincy Mas 2019. This event is the Calypso semifinals, which will be held at the Victoria Park, featuring 22 Calypsonians participating from 4 Calypso tents. They will be vying for the top 10 spots to compete in the finals at the Mardi Gras night on July 7. Shows and marketing coordinator for the CDC, Anthony Denny, told the media that all is set for this event.
For this coming Friday, right here at Carnival City Victoria Park, I can say to you, all is more or less in place. The infrastructure is there. The setup is raring and ready to go. The 22 Calypsonians, they have been announced, and they are at this point in time, not actually this time, but the rehearsals are very much ongoing.
There are 9 other events that will follow, and the CDC said that security will be beefed up as they are working closely with the RSVG police force. Also, improved and additional temporary facilities will be erected at various locations. CDC Chairman Ricardo Adams said they are in the process of printing maps which will be made available for returning nationals and visitors.
As of this week, later on this week, we will be activating the CDC information booth, where persons who arrive can go and get information on what is happening with Vincy Mas and purchase tickets. We will be publishing in the newspapers a map of Kingstown that sets out where you can find the police station, the hospital, Victoria Park, Heritage Square, bathroom facilities, where the main bars are located, etc. Because we recognize that we are not only any longer catering for necessarily Vincentians.
A new feature this year will be a CDC and VC3 booth set up on the band route, which will enable participating bands to pass through, but it is yet to be decided if it will be used as one of the judging booths. Minister of Tourism, Sports and Culture Cecil Sasmaki said he is satisfied thus far with the standards and participation in the activities leading up to the main events, and singled out the artists who have promoted SVG regionally and internationally.
This year, we know that Skinny and Family also took up the baton and kept the Vincy Mas flag flying high internationally.
Other upcoming events include the Junior Fete World on June 29, the Junior Pan Fest following the Sunday, June 30th, the Junior Calypso and Soca Competition on Tuesday, June 2nd. The Steel and Glitters Show will be held on Thursday, July 4th, and Ever 4.2 on Friday, July 5 at the cruise ship berth. Soca Monarchist on Saturday, July 6th. Jove and T-shirt band will be held on July 8th, and the final event on the CDC Carnival calendar, Mardi Gras, on Tuesday, July 9th. Reporting for SVGTV News, Larissa Pogsley-Kidd.
Blondie and Friends Mass Band, which is celebrating its 25th anniversary in Mass, has decided to zero in on an important environmental issue with this year's production, that of climate change. Long-standing member of Blondie and Friends, Simone Richardson, said they decided to seek financial support from a funding agency under the UNDP GEF Small Grants Program to make their idea for this year's production become a reality.
You know, we went there, we spoke with the local coordinator, Mrs. Tashika Haynes-Bob, who we pitched the idea of doing this band, climate change, using the creative arts to highlight a topic that is very important and that is very much around. It's like trending. That's a topic that is trending right now, with the United States President saying that it's a hoax. It has, I think, without him knowing, he has given so much impetus into the awareness of climate change. So we spoke with Mrs. Bob, and she said that she would take it to her committee because she really thought it was a great idea to get other persons involved, persons who might not be aware of climate change.
Richardson said the local liaison officer of the UNDP GEF Small Grants Program was excited about their idea to highlight climate change in a creative way. Richardson said that the Mass Band will also be hosting a summer vocational program from July 15th to August 17th, focusing on issues of the environment and climate change. Blondie and Friends educates about climate change.
Will be free of cost for all the children that would play in the band, that would play the kiddies section. It will be free of cost. It will be free of cost, but we're targeting those, and then we can have some other children, if they are interested, they can contact us and see how they can be a part of this school vacation program. It will be held at the Sign Hill Government School and Sign Hill Playing Field, because we don't only want to teach them about climate change. We want to do some teaching of the creative arts, because we want to keep that tradition alive. It's kind of dying, and we want to make sure that it's in the hands of the youth, where we can have some continuity. And we'll also be doing some physical education, teaching them about keeping themselves healthy. So teaching them about health and wellness. So if they're able to take care of themselves, they'll be more able to take care of their environment.
Richardson said members of the Mass Band have been going into communities by way of whistle stops, sharing out posters and educating persons on climate change and its impact on the environment, and thanked the UNDP GEF Small Grants Program for its support with this year's production.
Blondie and Friends is celebrating 25 years this year, but I can tell you, without the help, without the funding of UNDP GEF Small Grants, the band would not have been able to make it. Yes, we have other sponsors that are on board, but they are the major part of bringing this band this year, and I really want to give them our sincerest, loudest appreciation. and would like to tell persons out there, if you have an idea, an environmental idea, you can approach Mrs. Bob. She is very hardworking. She will sit with you and help you through it, help you bring out your ideas. There is funding out there. There is funding to be had. You just need to get your ideas and go to Mrs. Bob.
All right.